Trump-endorsed Bible makes it into the Oklahoma schools. However, they decided to remove 17 amendments. That's right. Put it up full mass. This is truth and integrity for you. Copies of the Donald Trump-endorsed Bless the U.S.A. Bibles are currently being distributed in Oklahoma classrooms. They are missing, however, multiple amendments to the Constitution, the 11th to the 27th. According to the report, the Trump Bible uses the King James text, takes its name from the patriotic country song by Lee Greenwood, and also includes the Constitution of the United States, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, and the Pledge of Allegiance as additional biblical context and content, even though it is not. However, the version that these young, impressionable minds will receive is being introduced in the Sooner State School will not enable students to learn about the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery. They are not allowed to know about the 19th Amendment, which granted women the right to vote, or the 22nd Amendment, which limits a president to 2 terms in the White House. Quote, the decision was made to only include the original Founding Fathers documents, as Amendments 11 through 27 were added at a later date. The Bible's publisher told local news outlet KFOR when asked about the exclusion to the publisher. So you're going to keep the original in as educational content, but leave the truth out for the sake of historical context. That's interesting, isn't it? Well, let's do this. How about I recommend, if we're playing this game, we can take out the New Testament of the Holy Bible and leave the Old Testament for historical context, and let's call that the New Christian Bible. Let's do that. Why wouldn't you go for that? You're willing to manipulate children as it relates to informed human beings who realized that the old system was inadequate for faith, freedom, and progress. So we came up with amendments, but see, amendments are part of the original design of the Constitution. You don't think one of those students may ask, well, wait a minute, where are the amendments? Or possibly they search it on Google, or maybe they ask their mother or father, or maybe they hear it on a channel like this one. Why leave it out? All right. The standard edition of the president's, peculiar take on the good book, printed in China, retails at $59.99, or you can actually get it for a whopping discounted rate of $1,000 if he signs it. They are literally pimping Jesus, and is currently being promoted with 2 for 1 offer, which will include a gift bag with every order and sign. Okay. That's a limited time only, though. If you want to get on that, you got to get on it immediately. The site selling the Bibles also offered them in pink and gold and camouflage versions, and sells a wide range of other MAGA merchandise, including a t-shirt paying tribute to Charlie Kirk, Oklahoma school system. You put it up, what has been ranked among the worst in the United States. Certainly finds itself in a state of flux after Superintendent Ryan Walters announced that he was stepping down Thursday after an appearance on Fox News. Ryan Walters, no stranger to controversy, and had a rather bizarre incident this summer where lewd images were seen on his work TV. It's unclear if his resignation is tied to that incident. One somewhat hilarious note to the story is that a video has gone semi-viral of Walters pulling a Maury and storming out of an interview with local news about his own resignation. Walters made national headlines for publishing the ultra-conservative religious agenda in the state's public schools, including the rollout of the Trump Bible, but is now moving on to lead a conservative nonprofit, the Teacher Freedom Alliance, a day after announcing that he would mandate Turning Point USA chapters in Oklahoma high schools. Insane. During his tenure, Walters required teachers arriving in the state from liberal New York and California to complete an anti-woke exam designed by the right-wing nonprofit PragerU. He also supported Oklahoma enacting the first publicly funded religious charter school, which the U.S. Supreme Court had previously prevented from receiving public funds. He's a tool. He's likely a charlatan. He's trying to make up what he is inadequate in authentically delivering, which is solid, prolific, profound, and progressive education to the impressionable young minds that are living in the now. And because of that, as long as he's buddy with MAGA, he feels like he can be safe. That's your current leadership status today. All right. Yasmin, thoughts?
Yeah, it's funny that the Constitution is in the Bible at all. Also, I want to point out that these are like leather bound Bibles that were originally ordered that cost so much money. And this is coming out of like a school system, which, like, notoriously, they have no money already. It's also very fitting that Donald Trump just put his name on top of the King James Bible and called it the Trump Bible, as if he wrote it or translated it or did anything with it at all. We all know that he's never read the Bible. I'm not a Christian, nor have I ever been. But I guarantee you that I have read more of the Bible than Donald Trump ever has. I'm 100% sure of it. But this is just another push that we're seeing from the right in their renewed Christian nationalist agenda. In the name of Charlie Kirk, they now want to reacquaint the youth with Jesus and religion, as was Charlie's vision for the country and the young people, I guess. That's what I hear, right? And it is ridiculous because in this country, we're supposed to have secular education. The public education system is supposed to be something that we could confidently send our kids to. And, you still have to like make sure they're on track at home as a parent. But, you can reasonably be sure that they're not going to school and getting like Christian propaganda at them, not just in terms of having the 10 commandments in their classrooms, which is something that we have here in Texas now, but also having an incomplete constitution in their Bibles that are mandated by the state. It's completely it's crazy hearing the words coming out of my own mouth right now as I'm saying it, because I can't believe, I don't know what it would have been like going to school in this type of environment. What I hope is that the students will look at their Bibles that were given to them by the state. They will look at the Constitution and realize that numbers are missing, right? That 13 through 27 are just not there, and that they'll ask questions accordingly, that they'll get on Chat GPT, because they're also AI literate these days, and say, why is it missing? And what is it? What are they? It's hard to say, right? I want to put a lot of faith in the youth, and, because I remember what it was like being that age, and I remember being taught things in school and being like, I don't know if that makes sense to me, or that seems a little confusing. And then when I got a little bit older, when I learned more about certain topics, I was like, oh, that's why that was confusing, because they were not telling me the whole story. That's
Right.
why I was confused, because things were literally missing from the narrative that I was getting. And I think I actually went to a decent elementary school, but it's there's still things that feel inconsistent with children. I would hope that they have like the confidence or the know-all to ask those questions. And I really hope that they get the answers that they deserve from, if not from their educators, then from their parents, or even from Google.
The universe has a way of reconciling
Mm,
the nuances of deception when you try to harm a child.
mhm,
And this won't work, obviously, but it goes to show you how far they are willing to go in order to keep a lie alive in the culture.